Welcome in, Hawks fans. It's your boy Bryce Lewis back from another Atlanta Hawks wrap up. It's been a while, but we're back now to talk about some Hawks basketball. And sadly, we're coming off a disappointing loss tonight to the Charlotte Hornets, 144 to 138. And just simple as I can put it to you, it was a defensive disaster for the Hawks tonight. Just completely bad from across the board. They scored 138, but I mean, you lost. So if you score 138 and you lost, you know why you lost the game. And let me go over a couple of numbers to kind of describe it to you guys. Charlotte shot 63% from the field, 54% from three. If I'm seeing that, you're probably losing that game. And the Hawks flipped that up tonight. Going into this game, this is off a tweet from Mike Conti. Hornets were dead last in offensive rating and three-point accuracy. How are they shooting 60 and 50 from the field and three, but they last in three-point accuracy and offensive rating? This reminds me of the Orlando game, where the Hawks let up 50 in the first quarter. I'm like, I'm sitting here like, if we're letting this up to like Milwaukee or Boston or Denver, you never want to let this up, but it's almost like, well, they're an elite team, we're not ready, blah, blah, blah. Letting this up to guys like Orlando, Charlotte, like it's like, this is the bottom of the barrel league. And we're having some of our worst defensive performances against those guys. That to me screams three things. That screams culture, identity, and coaching are non-existent or very below average. What is the Hawks culture? We don't know. What is the Hawks identity? We don't know. And coaching, a lot of people will probably say it's bad. And tonight, in the night we had tonight, kind of rolls with what a lot of people say. You feel like it's unexcusable to let this kind of performance up to a team like the Charlotte Hornets. If you go into the stats, I mean, DeJounte had 20, Trey had 25, DeAndre had 21, Capella had 22, and Bey, in his first playing time and start with the Hawks, had 12 points and 5 rebounds tonight. I mean, he was fine. Again, I will say this. I did not like Nick McMillan going to that three-guard lineup. I really don't like that lineup for the Hawks. I don't like it at all. Because I know what he's thinking we need offense, but I'm like, you do realize you have Trey, who's not a great defender, and you have Bogdanovic, who's not a great defender on the floor. You got to get stops. You worried about trying to score. You got to get stops. Why is Bey not out there? I would have had Bey out there. I rather would have had him out there or Jalen Johnson out there or AJ Griffin. I would have had one of them. I don't like that three-guard lineup. I just feel like it's not a good finishing lineup. How many times does that three-guard lineup work late in these games? Like, really? That's a real question I have. Because when I wrote my article for SI, I said that lineup is negative 13, I believe it's 13.5 point differential. So the stats tell you that lineup's not good. That's not a good lineup. Yeah, that's our closing lineup. And I know JC was out, but I feel like this is why you acquired Bey. This is why you have guys like Jalen Johnson. Like, you don't have to go to that lineup, but you still went to it. And I'm just like, no. Like, Bogdanovic does not even play in 31 minutes. He only gave you 11 points. Like, that's why for me, I'm like, why is that happening? Why is he playing that many minutes? Why is he, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's the irritating part, is that it just feels like, what are we doing from a coaching perspective? What are we doing? You know, bench gave him 30 points tonight total. You know, Okongwu had 12, AJ had 6, and then Jalen Johnson had 9, 13 minutes. Typical Nate McMillan rotation with Jalen. Plays like 9, 10 minutes in the first half, gets like 2, 3 in the second. I'll continue to die on that hill. I think Jalen Johnson can help this team more if he gets more PT. But he just never gets the opportunity to, because Nate doesn't, I guess he just doesn't trust him. I mean, that's as simple as I can put it to you. But frustrating night tonight. You're back at 500 if you're the Hawks. You know, tale of two games. Last game, San Antonio, close in the first half. Hawks finally put their foot on the gas, enforced their will, won the game. This game, they started off slow, and they were never able to fully make it back from that. And it showed in this game, and now, you know, the Hawks and everybody else, you know, we deal with what we deal with. So they got New York on Wednesday. Obviously, that's always a bigger deal just because it's the Knicks and the playoff series from a couple years ago. You kind of win that game. They're the team ahead of you in the standings right now. So the Hawks before this game were only a game and a half back, I believe, of the Knicks. Now they'll probably be a full 2 games back. So they probably need to win this next game if they want to try to jump to the 7th spot and try to jump there before we can even talk about them trying to jump Miami or Brooklyn. So we're going to have to see what happens with this team, man. Like I said, very disappointing performance tonight from the guys. You really want to see more, just a poor effort defensively from the team, needing to be better with that. And all you can really hope for, man, is just a continuation of just better play. That's all you can really hope for. So we'll have to see what happens, man. But this is